How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody have a pretty good weekend? There we go. There we go. Here go live for a little bit. Kind of see how everybody's doing. I ain't really done one on here on YouTube. It's been a couple days. Had one yesterday, about 15 minutes, whatever. So trying to check in, see how everybody's doing. Hope everybody had a pretty good Sunday. Hey Joshua, how you doing? Not much. Figured I'd just go live for a little bit, see how everybody's doing. Before I run off to bed. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Didn't get a lot done today, but that's usually how Sundays are. Usually just church and family times. Usually what Sundays are. Don't get a whole lot done. Yeah, we was up till well, I was up to about 6:30 this morning. Then I slept for about an hour. Yeah, yeah, nothing wrong with relaxing for a little bit, but sometimes it puts you behind. And you did a good. I didn't get him to do it. He just did it. He did it once, and I told him, I said, YouTube has a new thing now where you can take clips of people's live videos and share them. I said, I want to do that to you doing that. And he's like, oh, if you're going to do that, he's like, I can get a whole lot better shot than this time. So then he did what I recorded, and I was like, oh my goodness. What time did he stop his live? Oh, it was about 5:30.
No, it was about 5.
It was up to 5. It was pushing 5:30.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It was late.
it was early.
Early. Whatever.
Yeah, it was a fun live, that's for sure.
It was a late early.
Mm,
Like early late.
yeah, wasn't too bad. He kept saying, I don't know why you're not in bed. I was like, don't bother me all that well. I had stuff to do and I'll get it done regardless of how tired I am. I don't sleep a whole lot anyway. I'm usually up to about 2 o'clock and then usually get up about 8 o'clock, 7:30 somewhere. No, not really. I only slept about an hour. I had to, I got up about 7:30 and I had to go check the traps over at the nuisance job. And then we went to church. Then we went out for lunch and then went to the hospital to see my dad and then went back to church and now I'm here. Hey PA, how you doing? So there was a lot of funny things that happened on that live last night and it's something that I would kind of tell everybody to go watch, but that was a very long live, so I know it'd be hard to watch and catch it all. So did everybody end up having a pretty good weekend then? I know it's supposed to be getting a lot of rain and cold weather about everywhere this week. We've gotten quite a bit of rain today. You watched till around 2 a.m. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think around 3 is probably when it really started to get good because he started to get pretty tired, and that's when he just started doing
When I did pop that
dumb
while
things.
I was up here. Yeah, Jada wasn't live. We were up with her daughter.
Passed out a few times, woke up and seen you and Jason. Yeah. Yeah, so I was up the whole time. We was gonna go to bed. I told him I was gonna go to bed. It's 1:30, 1:45. I said I'm gonna go to bed. I said, alright, well then my daughter woke up and she started crying. Uh, and she ended up like not being ready for bed no more and wanted more juice and cheese and all that stuff, and she didn't end up going back to bed until after 4. I'm doing good, Ben. How are you doing? Yeah, we ain't got no snow, but we got a bunch of rain today. They're talking about us possibly getting snow throughout the week. Mm, you know. So, alright. So yeah, I have those traps over at that nuisance shop that I'm doing, but when I put them out Wednesday, it's been super hot, and then it finally cooled off. But now it's downpouring like crazy, so I don't know. I was hoping that that would be about a 2-day job, and it's not happening that way. But I know there's a cat that's messing with one of my traps. I don't know if it's like a huge house cat, like feral cat, or if it's a smaller bobcat. But I seen a couple tracks, and I mean they were about the size of $50, something like that. So it'd either be a small bobcat or a really big house cat. I don't know. RIPA. But they messed with my trap last night, so. But then again, it's been downpouring all day. It started probably 1 o'clock this afternoon. I mean, our dirt road's pretty flooded now, so I doubt I'll get anything in the traps tonight. Simply because they'll probably be washed out. No, well, that's the way it goes sometimes. Yeah. Say the weather's been crazy. I mean, it's really been crazy the last 2 years, but I mean, this winter was just nuts. Like I tell people, here we don't usually get a whole lot of snow here, and I mean, altogether we had, I bet we had close to 15 inches of snow altogether so far. And we're talking about getting some snow this week. And, normally we usually get a couple dustings of snow and that's it, and maybe one snow that's like 2 inches. So we might get an average of like 5 inches altogether for a winter. And I mean, we're probably close to 15, 16 inches. I mean, our last snow, there were some snow drifts around here that were, I mean, there were 16-inch snow drifts. They're up to my knees. So, hey, Scab, how you doing? You have a pretty good day. I seen in Trapper Jay's live that you said you caught another otter, and the wardens let you keep it. Oh, you get Scab. I ain't been on here too long, 10 minutes. So, um, I haven't really done a live here in a while. Did the one last night was about 15 minutes. Not really done one here in a while, so I figured I'd get on here, do one for a little bit tonight before I head off to bed. Friday night to Saturday evening. Yeah, so we had lots of rain today, and it cooled off a lot. Today was 60, 62, maybe something like that. But like come Thursday, Friday, we're supposed to be in the teens. Hey, Fish, how you doing? Kind of guilted him into the Scab. Whatever works, man. All right, Ben, you're good. You have a good night, man. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, not live last night. There was definitely a lot of different things transpire. Decisions were made. That's what I say. Tell everybody. Decisions were made. They might not have been good. They might not have been bad, but they were made. I talked to him a little bit today. He basically just said he's dead. Only one bit about the past. Scam. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's kind of crazy though. Yeah, I think Jay's probably gonna need a good 2 or 3 days to recoup. Not all that. What was it? Cognac. I mean, that drinking that much of that cannot be good at all. Mm-mm. Let him have his thoughts, yeah. So was it a decent sized otter, Scab? So I'm hoping to catch a couple coyotes and a bobcat at this nuisance job, but I mean, the weather's not working with me, and I asked her because she said she sees them all the time, the uh, coyotes, and she says she sees the bobcat quite often. And I asked her, I said, have you seen them, in the last 3 or 4 days? She's like, no. I was like, oh. I said, well, hopefully the weather will change and we'll get them. Syrup. Yeah. I told him, I said, just stay alive. I said, you're working anyways. There ain't no difference between sitting in the shop working and sitting in the shop working with your phone on. Tells me large ended up being excellent. That's awesome, Scab. Well, I told him, a lot of times when you're doing a live video, time just goes by. I mean, it's just like when you're, anywhere talking to somebody, about trapping or whatever. You get to talking, time goes by like nothing. And I mean, like just sitting here, I can sit here and talk to you guys And before I know it, it's been 2, 3, 4 hours. It's like, holy cow. So the longest I've ever been live was I did a live on TikTok for about 2.5 hours, and then had about 30-minute break, and then got on YouTube and did it live, and it was like 4.5 hours. So and that was crazy. I started the TikTok one at like 5, and it was like 1:32 in the morning when I got off the YouTube live. But I enjoy talking with you guys. So if you guys have any questions for me or whatever, just let me know. Right into this yesterday. That's awesome, Scab. So yeah, it's easy to just sit there and talk and time to go by. Hey James, how you doing? I seen you posted another video. Oh, Joshua, who knows? You hardly ever win those things with TikTok. Herb, you really have to check your state rules about that. There's a lot of states that don't want you doing that because it's one of those things. Why would you catch a animal that's causing you problems and go let it out somewhere else to be someone else's problem? You know what I mean? Um, if you catch something you don't want, you can let them go, but relocating them is really not something that I completely agree with. That makes sense. Because I could tell people, if you're working with like a raccoon, say that's in someone's house, and you get it out and you go relocate it somewhere, well, it's been in someone's house and it liked it, so it's gonna go find another house to get into. Um, I mean, same thing with like a coyote. If you got a coyote that's killing somebody's chickens and you catch it and you relocate it, well, that coyote has, he's realized now, hey, there's pens with food that can't get out, and I'm just gonna go find me that. So he's gonna go be someone else's problem. So I don't fully agree with that. Now, if you catch something and you just want to let it go, that's one thing. But I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of relocating. I'm telling you. Yeah, Scab, I get that definitely. Idaho Rat King, oh yeah. Found a huge beaver lodge stage. What's on? Yeah, yeah. That place that I found to trap beaver. I finally found out who owned it, and I finally found out how to get a hold of them. So hopefully, in a couple days, I'll be able to get a hold of them. But Herb, yeah, I mean, again, it's all up to you and what you want to do. But that's just kind of my thoughts about it. I don't know. But I do know there's a lot of states they kind of tell you to euthanize them. Like here in Missouri, uh, the they tell you to euthanize pretty much anything that you catch. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, James. I mean, when you talk to an animal, 50 miles really ain't a whole lot because there's a lot of them animals that can travel, 8 to 10 miles in just a day or two. But I don't know, that's just been my thought, and there's not really a right or wrong answer to it. Everybody kind of has their own opinion, but that's just kind of mine. I mean, like I said, if I got a call from somebody saying they had something tearing up their trash and getting into their chicken pen, they needed trapped, I wouldn't want to go trap it and then haul it somewhere and let it loose, and then it get into someone else's trash or chicken pen or something like that. If that makes sense. That's just my thoughts on it or whatever, my opinion. There's really no right or wrong answer. Hey, Otter Cat, how you doing? But yeah, I know here in Missouri they highly, highly, highly suggest you to euthanize them. I don't think there's really a law on it, but it does say in the books and stuff that um, to euthanize them, basically to dispatch them. Hey, Mister Somebody, how you doing? I'm doing good. Yeah, doing pretty good. So I didn't get a whole lot of sleep, but I'm really not all that tired. I did end up taking a little bit of a nap on the way home from the hospital. Most states have a nuisance rule related out there. Yeah. Well said, I mean, I don't know. There's really not a right or wrong answer. Some states do have laws about it, but oh, my dad's in the hospital. He's been in there for a little bit. A week and a half now. What time is it? Is that what you're saying? It's 10:41. But I was watching Trapper J's live last night until about 5:30 this morning, and then I was up till about 6:30, and then I fell asleep and slept maybe an hour. I don't know. I was up at 7:30, and got ready for church, and then went and checked the traps at my nuisance job. Came back and got my wife and daughter, and we went to church. And then we went and ate, and then went to the hospital. Only an hour ahead of you, yeah. I appreciate it, Joshua. Um, my dad is older. He's 80 years old, and he's been in the hospital quite a bit. I bet he's been in the hospital at least 5 or 6 weeks this year. Missed alive. I even looked before bed and didn't see it. Yeah, he started it. Man, it was close to midnight when he started it. 11:45 midnight. It was a late live, and I figured he'd go live for an hour or two. But yeah, we ended up. It was like I think it was 6 hours and 14 minutes. Oh yeah, it was a long one. 9:43. Yeah, it's 10:43 here. And then, like Scab said, it's 11:43 there. Yeah, and when Jay ended his live this morning, it was about 5:30. There was still about 60 people on there. Yeah. I, yeah. See, my dad's really not had real good health the last. At least the last 4 or 5 years, he's really not had good health, but he hasn't had good health in like 15 years. He's had, diabetes, severe diabetes problems, kidney problems, heart problems, all that stuff. He's not real good at taking care of himself. By law here, I have to kill whatever I catch. Figure I caught it, I'll do it. Yeah. So I said, when it comes to that, there's really no right or wrong answer. I mean, if you catch something that you don't want to dispatch and you want to let it go, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that whatsoever. But when you come to relocating animals, um, I think it really depends on the situation, honestly. Um, like I said, I wouldn't go trap a raccoon out of someone's attic and go relocate it into the woods so it can go get in someone else's attic. That makes sense. Hey Billingsley, how you doing? Doing pretty good tonight. Just tired. I was up till about 6:30 this morning, and slept for about an hour, and woke up and been going ever since. That's good, Billingsley. So Billingsley, was you there with Mike when he got my bobcat? I had a suspicion that it might not be that great, but I didn't think it would be that bad. But again, it don't surprise me. Yeah. So my dad turned 80 in January, and um, last year was it in October? He had a really bad car wreck, and he's not been doing well since then at all. He's refused to stay. Yeah. So I don't sleep a whole lot, so it don't bother me. As long as I have something to do, I'm good. It's when I don't have something to do that's when I start getting tired. What's wrong with Bobcat? So in Missouri, we have to get all our bobcats and otters tagged. Well, my bobcat, when I froze it, I forgot to put something in its eye with a tag. So when I got a hold of the game warden to come get it, to come tag it, I called him Thursday, and he said he could be here about Friday afternoon. Or Friday, yeah, about afternoon, about noon, 1 o'clock. And I said, alright. So I pulled it Thursday night so I could roll it out and have him tag it. Well, then he ended up not showing up on Friday. So I put it back in the freezer. I put a stick in its eye and then I put it back in the freezer. Well, then when he did come tag it, I just tagged it frozen and I set it up there. Well, in the day and a half or so that it sat out, it turned green and was not doing good. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I was really wanting that cat, but it is what it is. Things happen. You know, it's mostly my fault. So if I would have been thinking when I did it, the problem, not to make excuses for myself, but the problem was the night that I skinned that bobcat. I skinned the bobcat, I think 3 raccoons, and like 5 coyotes that night. So, and I didn't get done until like 11:30 at night, and it was like 20 outside, and I was frozen solid. So I was just rolling them up and putting them in bags and putting them in the freezer, and I didn't even think about putting a stick in the cat's eye, and yeah, it all went downhill from there. We went to finish movie today. I said that yesterday, and it was stinky. Yeah, yeah, they definitely go fast. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's one of those things, you know. Could have had a V8, you know what I mean? But yeah, my dad's had prostate cancer. He's had colon cancer. Yeah, he's had kidney problems, heart problems. He's had open heart surgery. He's had tons of stents and stuff in his heart, and he has diabetes bad, like real bad. And then he got in a car wreck in October of last year. Actually, I was going to the Iowa convention, and we got halfway to Iowa when I got a phone call saying that he had been in a wreck. We was already almost to the Iowa line, and by the time I actually knew how bad it was, I was already in Iowa. I was like, well, I said, I can't just turn around and go back home. So, but since then, I mean, I don't know. It's almost like he's just given up. When people get that way, and they don't do nothing. They just blame everybody else. That's kind of where he's at. Everything's somebody else's fault. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even have any live traps. I gotta get me a couple. At least a couple. Yeah. See, that was my problem. I pulled it out of the freezer to get it tagged tomorrow. And then the game board didn't show up. So I had to refreeze it and it went to trash. And kind of just poof, disintegrated pretty much. Yeah. Alright, Fisher. Except for Beaver, you skin and flesh the same day. Don't have a food space. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the weather here fluctuates fast. I try to skin every day, I really do, but sometimes it's hard. But I ship my furs off, and I usually get about 10 to a dozen, and I'll box them up and ship them off. I didn't know any of that. Yeah, the problem is, my dad's 80 years old, and he don't take care of himself at all. He has had to do dialysis a couple times, um, and it's just not like right now. He's full of fluid right now, and they're having a hard time getting it out of him. They don't really know what it's from, but he won't eat. He won't eat any proteins or nothing. So they've told my mom that he's malnourished because he just refuses to eat. If you give him a big plate of food, and he'll just push it away. He won't eat it. take yours right in the regional office. You don't have to wait. Yeah, our office here is quite a ways. I think I'd have to go to Springfield, and that's an hour and a half, and I'm not gonna drive an hour and a half to get a Bobcat tag. But if I would have been paying attention, I would have just stuck a stick in its eye and could have prevented all this. Yeah. Say, it's definitely good to know that you're better now than you was, Billingsley. Even if people are skinny the same day, please. Yeah, I sell all my stuff green. I ain't got the time to flesh or any of that. I barely got the time to skin them. Treat it like frozen turkey. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna tan it and keep it. Yeah, Mr. Somebody, there was a lot of things that went into it. It wasn't that I let it set out and stop. It was I pulled it because the game warden was supposed to be here at noon to tag it. Well, he ended up not being able to make it, and I kept waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, by the time I never really heard from him, so at like 6 o'clock that night, I just put it back in the freezer. Well, at that point, you know, it was damage was done. Two beavers hanging on the back deck that I have to get them. Yeah. Oh, you're good, Billingsley. I know. Yeah, I know there wasn't much you guys could do. It's believe me, I know it's all that one was all on me. Welcome back, Fisher. Yeah, I don't know. I've thought about trying to maybe get into doing some fleshing and stuff, but it's just I really have to make time. I made time to go trapping, and that put me behind a lot. I've been working like crazy the last 3 or 4 weeks to try to get stuff caught up now. See, the tags here we don't have to pay for. They come tag them for free, but hey, Rob's Outdoors, how you doing? Oh, you're good. I know how it is. Uh, yeah, I know how it is. Trust me. Notifications are pretty bad sometimes. Fisher, I've never really been turkey hunting. I've been like twice in my life, and I don't know. Wasn't anything that seemed too special to me. Yeah, our problem isn't that they don't care. It's the county I live in is huge. Uh, the county I live in is one of the biggest counties in Missouri, and we only have one game warden. So, when the end of season comes, not only is everybody trying to get their Bobcats tagged, but there's also all the other extra stuff that he's got to do, and sometimes it's just, hard to have the time to do everything. Uh, not herb, not really. I mean, it's, I don't know, about the same, I guess, just so-so. If they are to be sold, traded, or shipped. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's shipped. I have to ship it to have it tanned. Yeah, Trapper J's live was pretty crazy last night. PA. Yeah. Yeah, Fisher, the problem, I don't know if turkey hunting is different to most people, but when the people I went turkey hunting with, like, we just would walk around and call and call and call and call and call. We didn't hear nothing. We'd walk somewhere else and call and call and call and call. Walk somewhere else, call, call, call. And you'd finally hear a turkey call, or you'd finally hear a turkey get back at you, and you'd kind of walk towards its direction and then sit down and try to call it in. And I don't know, it just wasn't real fun to me. Just walking around, calling, walk around, call, walk around. I don't know. Not really my thing. Yeah, mine's shipped out of state. But here in Missouri, we have to have all our bobcats and otters tagged. Yeah. Yeah, because the thing about it is, like, if you come to a tannery or taxidermy or whatever, if you have something that don't have a tag or uh, something like that, I mean, how can they prove that that is, a bobcat that came from somewhere that it doesn't need a tag? You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of times if you're not getting notifications from pages, it's a lot of times you can go click the little bell that is they have. You can click the bell and go to all notifications, and it will let you know every time there's a new video or whatever. And a lot of times, like, I know I haven't been posting a lot of videos lately, so if people aren't interactive with my channel, then you won't really see the notifications. It won't give them to you, if that makes sense. A line of 10330s. Yeah, that'd be a lot of water. Yeah, say Trapper J, I think he ended up doing four, 4 or 5 giveaways last night on his live. Scout. Yeah. Need a boat to find those spots. Yeah. See, the problem with like beaver here in my area is we have them, but it's not like there's a humongous population. As you know, there's a lot of places like you can't look at a body of water without seeing beaver sign. You know, we're not like that. But I know this place that I found, there's at least a dozen or 2 dozen trees within. I mean, it's probably 100 yards, 100 yard creek bank on both sides of the creek that's been chewed on. Uh, I know a lot of people that have beavers and they don't have muskrats. You had 22 beavers today. That's awesome, James. Hey, Hunt Ready, how you doing? You have a pretty good weekend? Yeah, I don't know. That Trapper J live last night was definitely one for the books. I don't know. I need to get down there. I don't know if it'll be during beaver trapping season, but oh goodness. But I definitely need to get down there to see Trapper J. Maybe we can do a video of some sort together. I think that'd be pretty cool. Do a live with them. Doing a live with them. That'd be really cool. What's up, Fish? You had Saturday night off. That's awesome. That's crazy, Scab. And didn't you say that you're was your I don't think you said it was a conservation department, but you said they were doing a bunch of burnings, doing a bunch of controlled burns. Yeah, he does. And James has a ton of muskrats up there. I mean, goodness. He's been catching like what, 8 to 10 muskrats at least every day. Seems like anyway. James, how many muskrats are you up to? 6 12-hour shifts? That's crazy. Are you hourly or salary? Alright, Joshua. I appreciate you hopping on and chatting with us for a while tonight. You have a good night, man. Google Earth will find a lot of beaver territory, yeah. So I found a really good spot for beaver. It's only about 10 minutes away. Just gotta, hopefully I can get permission to do it. Told my wife, I said, I'll be happy if I can go down there with 3 traps and catch 1 beaver. If I can catch 1 beaver, I'll be happy. I'm not trying to go down there and catch 50 beaver, but if I can go down there and catch 1, I don't care if it's a 20-pound beaver. I'll be happy. Solid forestry, yeah, they do flip burns every year, so yeah. So that definitely makes it hard for what you're trying to do, but then again, California kind of needs to pick up that motto big time. Hourly. Yeah, as I say, with those kind of shifts, I would definitely want to be hourly, not salary. Hey, Kenny, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good tonight. You got 15 today. If this season you lost count, you only know that you're over 120. That's awesome. You got 17 today? It's awesome. Alright, Billings, you have a good night, man. Appreciate you hopping on. Look forward to seeing you at a couple conventions this year. I hope. The way gas prices are, we'll have to see. That's good, Kenny. So, does anybody have any big plans for this week? What y'all gonna be doing? I got these in the mail the other day. Missouri Mountain Man. And then Trapper's Post. I got these in last week. Which is good because last time I got my Trapper's Post magazine, it had gotten wet and a lot of the pages were stuck together. Won't be making any conventions this year, yeah. So we already have stuff booked and reserved for the NTA, and I reserved some tables for the FTA. But the way gas is going, man, I'm like, oh my gosh. By the time, if gas keeps going the way it is, by the time NTA gets here, gas is going to be $5 a gallon. And I told my wife, I said, if that happens, we ain't going to be able to go. I said, it's going to cost us at least $900 just in fuel to go to the NTA and back. I said, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. Yeah. Bunch of new creeks that I plan on setting on this thing. That's awesome, Scab. Are they close to your house? Your dad's going to plan still a charter for me and himself. That's awesome, Fisher. Yeah, it's supposed to rain and snow here all week. The Mountain Man. It's the Missouri Mountain Man. It's their state magazine. I keep getting people telling me to that I need to put my advertising in here, and this and the Trapper's Post, and they ain't free, so, and I'm broke. It'll be over 5 by then, yeah. Yeah, I know it'll be over 5, but I'm just saying, if it is $5 a gallon, it's because I figured it'll take at least 2.5 tanks of fuel to get to the NTA and 2.5 to get back. So that's 5 tanks, and then I figured we're going to use at least a tank of fuel while we're there, so that's 6 tanks. And, I don't. And see, our gas here, was it Wednesday. So Wednesday I looked at gas and it was $3.49, and Monday it was $3.13. So it went from $3.13 to $3.49 in 2 days. Well, diesel was $3.89 on Wednesday. Well, on Thursday, diesel had went up to $4.19. So diesel went up, or no, diesel was $4.29 because diesel went up 40 cents in 1 day. Well, today when we went to church, gas was $3.50. When we went to church at 9:30, gas was $3.50 a gallon. We left church, went and ate, went to the hospital, and went back to church at 4:30, and gas had went up another 15 cents. So it's $3.65 a gallon now. At that rate, it's like, people ain't gonna be able to afford to do nothing. What's it about? It's a trapping magazine. So if you join the association, so if you join the National Trappers Association, you can choose to get a subscription to the Trappers Post with your uh, association membership, and then you'll get one of these. I think you get these 6 times a year. I think each one is 2 months, and then your. I don't know if every state does it, but the Missouri uh, Trappers Association. Since I'm a member of their association, I get this book in the mail, which is basically uh, all the news that's kind of going on. See? It's all the news that's going on in Missouri for trapping. And it's got all the different districts and what the districts are doing. And like this one, it's got Missouri had some laws changed for snagging spoonbill. So that's in here. It's just things like that. They're cool little magazines you get with your memberships. National Forest traps 25 miles from you. That's crazy. That's like, yeah, dude. That's what I said. Right now, an hour worth of minimum wage work right now will get you 1 gallon of gas and 1 gallon of milk, if that. So, yeah, it's good. We're supposed to be getting rain and snow all week. Yeah, I don't even fill the vehicle up anymore. I ain't got the money to. All right, Fisher. I appreciate it. You have a good night, man. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'll be up. Get my truck running. Man, I don't know how much my truck's gonna cost to get running. It's one of those things. It could be $100 to fix it, and it could be $3 grand to fix it. And see, diesel right now here was last time I looked, which again was 2 days ago, was $4.29. So yeah, like I said, if I don't know if we'll be able to go to the NTA. I mean, if we're 750 for fuel, so if we go off what you're saying here, $750 for fuel, and then you add on another, say at least 600-700 for a hotel for 5 nights, food, drinks, whatever while we're there, you're talking $2,000, and then the booth itself's $300 something dollars. I'm not even going to be able to get my money back out of it. Yeah, I've honestly thought about, at this point, it'd be cheaper to just fly. That's awesome. Yeah, see, our minimum wage, I don't even know what our minimum wage here is anymore, but pretty much here, if you get a job that's paying under $12 an hour, it's because you're stupid. I mean, Walmart's $12 an hour, McDonald's, Taco Bell's $12 an hour. Everywhere's $12 an hour pretty much now here. So if you get a job paying $9-10 an hour, you're kind of just dumb, I guess. Yeah. Well, see, and here's what I don't get about gas prices. This is one thing that just really like pisses me off. Okay. So you can have a gas station, and they can change their price 3 times in 4 days. And they get gas like once a week. So it's like, how in the hell can you buy gas for this price, fill all your tanks up at your gas station, and change the price 3 times before you have to get gas again. That don't make sense to me. I can understand changing the price once you had to get more gas because it costs you more or it costs you less. But how can you fluctuate prices with the same gas in your tanks? That don't make sense to me. Yeah. Yeah, prices are getting crazy. It's snowing pretty good here in Des Moines. Steve, you're in Des Moines. Did you get any damage from that tornado? Bus ticket, brown bag, yeah. That's pretty good, James. Yeah, I don't have any membership cards, but I don't know. It's crazy. Like, there's so many gas stations that I'll drive by 4 times in a week, and all 4 times their gas prices are different. It's like I know you didn't get gas 4 times this week, so how did you change your price 4 times this week? A gallon of whole milk Highland here is $5.25 a gallon. So it's almost $10 for 1 gallon of milk and 1 gallon of gas. Almost $10. Yeah. And it won't be long until shipping prices start getting ridiculous. When that 1 ounce bottle of lure that people order and get mad because they have to pay $8 to ship it. And when it starts costing $15, $16 to ship it, because it's coming. Prices have already went up, like the shipping prices every year. I've been doing this for almost 4 years. And every Christmas, like right after Thanksgiving, the shipping prices will go up about 10%. And then usually about the middle of January they go back down. It's just to fluctuate the extra workers and stuff they have to hire for the holidays. Well, this year they haven't went back down. We're in March and still paying the 10% more that started in November. Those prices haven't went down yet. So we have the Walmart. They have the Great Value milk, the red cap, and it was $3.38 a gallon, something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Tree damage. Yes, Cab. I know they don't make money on their fuel. Well, I mean, they do, but they don't make much. But my thing is, like, how can they order 3,000 gallons of fuel? And before they have to order fuel again, they change their gas price 3 or 4 times. That's what I'm getting. To me, that don't make sense. Like if they buy their fuel at this price, they buy 3,000 gallons of fuel at this set price, and they need to sell it at $3.25 a gallon. Well, how can they just jump it up to $3.50 and then $3.60? Like, that don't make sense to me. $1.50? That'd be awesome. Need more trapping get-togethers in the 70s and the 80s. Yeah, the thing about it though, Steve, is, cause see here there's still trapping shows pretty much every weekend, but they're in different states. Like when you get to there's conventions in June, July, August, September, October, and I believe there's some in November. And then there's also some spring conventions and fall conventions. But when you get into like September and October, there's literally a convention every weekend. It's all based on the current price for them. Yeah. But and prices of trapping stuff has it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. Like there's some things that I'm not gonna carry for much longer, just because the prices are starting to get to be so ridiculous that it's not worth it to me. You know what I mean? Uh, there's so many different like trapping items that went up 25-30% in the last 3 months. That's crazy. It's like gold, you buy it 500 and yeah. Yeah. And I think the sad thing this year is I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be canceling the conventions mainly because of fuel prices. So I don't know that's just kind of my thing. That's like the J hook tool. I love the J hook tool. Like that's one of my favorite trapping tools that I have, and I recommend everybody to get one. But they've been $22 for as long as I can remember. Well, they're $28 a piece now. That's like a 25% increase on cost. Uh, a lot of the traps around October, November, a lot of the traps went up $20 to $30 a dozen. A lot of them did, and now they're all starting to go back up again. A lot of them are going back up another $20-$30 a dozen. Yeah. Yeah, Arcad. The problem with it, though, I mean, it's not just you know, because there's that stupid thing that always goes through Facebook and stuff. How people are like, um, a farmer sells a cow for $2.20 a pound, and then you go buy it at the store and they want $4 or $5 a pound. Well, how come the farmer isn't making that much money? Well, there's so much that goes into it. Like, I used to be a chef. Like, I used to have to figure out the cost of all this stuff. And, it's not just the cost of having somebody bottle it or work the meat up. You got transportation, packaging, and packaging has gone up a lot. Like, a lot. Most packaging that I use is like a lot of it's 2 to 3 times what it was 6 months ago. We have a first selling one events and methods. Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm still gonna run online just because I love it. I probably won't do as many properties as I did this year, and I might not run as many traps. But I mean, they're talking about by the end of the year, gas being $7-8 a gallon. Well, that's gonna be ridiculous. And usually like whatever gas is, propane prices are real close to whatever gas prices are. If propane gets to $7, $8, $9 a gallon, people ain't gonna be able to like afford to live. Like it ain't gonna happen. So I mean, it's like we have a 300-gallon propane tank. You know, if propane costs $7 a gallon, I can't afford that. You know, it's gonna cost $2,000 to fill it. Who can afford $2,000 for a tank of propane? You know, our utilities here have gone ridiculous. Our electric is double. Our electric bill the last 3 months has been double of what it has been. Even our water, everything's going up. Crazy. And it's not like everything's going up a little bit. I mean, there's so many things that are like doubling and tripling in price, and it's just ridiculous. The gas is gonna drop right around September. Alright, Arcat. Good night. Thanks for hopping on and chatting with us for a little bit. I hope gas drops, but unless something drastically changes soon, I don't expect it's going to. I mean, at the rate that it's going up right now, the last 2 weeks it's been averaging like 30 to 40 cents a gallon more the last 2 weeks. The sky's falling. Yeah. Yeah, the thing about it is all electric won't work. It won't work. People think it will, but it won't. I mean, look at what happened to California, 2 years ago, and then last year. I mean, California banned generators last year. Generators. You can't have a generator in California now. Okay? Uh, most of your electric cars have generators in them to charge them if they run out of power. So, how's that gonna work? You know? There was, 2 years ago, they come out in California and told people to, they couldn't charge their car more than 30 minutes a day because there wasn't enough power. Look, election season will be happening, so you know. Baten de su caballeros. The way I see it, I don't think any country should be dependent on any country. Period. I don't think any country should have to depend on another country for anything. I think every country should, in ways, trade with each other on different things. Because there's countries that have an overabundance of certain things, and there's other countries that have an abundance of other things. You know, some countries have a huge abundance of food. Some countries have a huge abundance of oil. It's just, I think countries should trade with each other, but it always ends up with somebody wanting more than they've been getting. Mr. Son, what's not true? Not true? What do you mean? It's not true. No, people won't ever get along. It's just the way it is. It's like all I said, most politicians are the same. James said it would be the last year they with the Muslims. Okay. Can't own a gym in California. I don't know if I should tell some. Yeah, well, if you look it up, you can read about it. California don't let a lot of people do a lot of things. There's a lot of places in California you can't use very much water at all, or you'll get a huge fine. A lot of places you can't. There's a lot of places in California your whole family can't take a shower in one day, or you can't take a shower and do laundry in the same day. There's a lot of places in California that are that way. And there's some places in California that they don't care. You can run 100, 200 gallons of water in your yard every day and they don't care. But yeah, yeah, electric cars are not as good of an idea as a lot of people think. Now, granted, my mom had a Kia Niro. I think it was a Kia Niro. Now, I like the way that car was designed because it was an electric car and it ran all electric unless you gave it so much like gas or whatever, or you got to so many RPMs, then it would switch over to gas and it would run on gas. My mom averaged like 92 miles to a gallon in that vehicle, in that car. And it recharged itself. You didn't have to charge it, it recharged itself. Uh, I really like the way that car was designed. And, yeah, the thing about it though, Scab, when you're talking about companies that big, they're all just kind of talking out of their butts. They're like politicians. They're going to say what needs to be said to calm people right now. Whether it's true or they mean it, it doesn't matter. Electric cars to me just are not that good of an idea. The ones that are like half electric, half gas, now that to me is an awesome idea. But the all electric ones where you have to plug them in and charge them and all that BS, to me that's not a great idea. Because, I mean, for one, a lot of the power plants run on coal, so you're kind of defeating the purpose there. But also, like, there's so many places that you can lose power for like a week, week and a half. Well, if your only vehicle you have is an electric car that you have to charge every night, but you lose power, I mean, what good is that going to do you? Yeah. Yeah, definitely not. Your wife has a Tesla and you must plug it in every 350 miles. Yeah. You know, I'm not saying I know very much about electric cars, but I don't. But the thought of it just, I don't know. Just being dependent on electricity to me is not a great thing. Because electricity is something that you can lose very easily. It's something that can be taken away very easily. And it's also something that the electric company can charge you whatever they want, and then you can do about it. You know what I mean? How long does it take to charge to you? You're getting your Chevy Volt gas electric tracking. Awesome. It takes 7 hours to charge the car, and you can only go 350 miles. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah, those gas electric vehicles. My mom had that one, and at first it was kind of weird, but I really started to like that vehicle because you didn't have to plug it in at all because it charged itself, and it ran on all electric unless you were going so like if you got it to go over like 3,000 RPMs, then it would switch over to gas or something like that. But for the most part, it just kind of cruised on the electric mode, so I didn't use any fuel. That that to me is a great idea, but all electric, I don't know. When I say Tesla, it's the $33,000 Tesla. Steve, yeah. Mr. Somebody, do you have an electric vehicle? I'm just asking because to me it seems like you are saying that any kind of fueled vehicle is not good and electric cars are the better. So I'm asking, do you have an electric vehicle? I do. All I know is I have never had a hard time finding fuel, and in my lifetime, there's been at least 15, 20 times where we've went 2 or 3 days without electricity. That I do know for a fact. Whether it be storms or whatever. Yeah, when your vehicle wouldn't start and all you had to do is pop the hood, take a wrench and smack something real hard and then get in it, start it, and go about your day. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things I try not to talk about politics and stuff like that too much, but as a business owner that relies on things like, gas and steel prices and stuff like that to, feed my family and keep me in business, that stuff scares the crap out of me. When I see that the number one thing I sell is potentially going to cost twice as much in 2 years as it does now, and it's going to cost me 3 times as much to get it to me than it does now, that scares me. It really does. You know, I don't know, because it's not going to be too long, and you know, I'll tell everybody, gas prices right now are averaging, from what I've heard from people all over the United States. I would say gas price right now is an average of $3.95 to $4.10 a gallon right now. And diesel, it seems like diesel's averaging probably close to $4.50 to $4.60 a gallon. Well, like Amazon offering free shipping on everything, that's not gonna happen, When it gets to, something that used to cost them $5 to deliver is gonna cost them $12, $13 to deliver. They're not gonna be able to offer free shipping anymore. And if they do, your Amazon Prime is gonna go up $5 or $6 a month. Steve. Yeah. National gas average 4 or 5. Yeah. Yeah. What's that? Our gas went up 15 cents just today. Literally today. Like we went to church between 9:30 and 4:30. It went up 15 cents. Yeah. I don't know. I told my wife, if things keep going the way they're going, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I know I've seen just the last couple of days, there's been a few traps and stuff like that that are, the prices are more than they were a month ago. So, I mean, the TS-85, what was it? I think they went up $35 a dozen. The TS-85 did. So, it's crazy. But I don't know. I try not to think about it too much. I try to just think about today. Try my best not to think about tomorrow, and just think about today. 'Cause all you can really do is pray about it. That's about all anybody can do. Yeah, exactly. So I can't control it. So thing about it is, like gas prices, I can't control gas prices, but I can control how much gas I need by where I go. So yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he might have left. I'd say it's not that, you know, for most subjects, even like, the electric cars and stuff, there's not really a right answer. There's just what someone prefers. If you prefer an electric car, there's no problem with that. If you prefer a gas or a diesel, ain't nothing wrong with that. But me and myself, I don't feel comfortable relying on electricity. Like I said, pretty much any subject, well, not any subject, most things, there's no right or wrong answer, and there's only opinions and what someone likes, I guess you could say. But for the most part, all we can do is pray that everything works out for the best any way that it goes. You know? I don't know. I don't know. Your post was too long to post. For a 67 Chevy with 454 big block. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. No manufacturer vehicle. Yeah. You can notice it now, but I want you to be able to make a hybrid. Yeah. I don't know. That's me. My Cummins that I have out there, I don't see myself ever getting rid of that vehicle. I really don't. Even if it gets to the point where it just sits. Because diesel's $28 a gallon. Uh, it'll just sit there. And I might put $28 in it and start it up and just listen to it run and shut it off again. But I could definitely see myself owning a, what'd you call it, a hybrid type vehicle that's half gas, half electric, because I really like that. Yeah. I don't listen to news or politicians or anything. There ain't nothing good about it. My car in high school was a 67 Apollo S3, 4-speeder. Yeah. You want a tank? Well, who doesn't? Yeah. There's just free Russian tanks and the Europeans. Yeah. Yeah. Say, I love my Cummins. My 5.9, I love it, and I won't ever get rid of it, but I I could definitely see myself owning one of those hybrid vehicles. Yeah, Rob's, the problem with it is you could go over to Ukraine and get you a free tank, but it probably cost you $250,000 to get it shipped over here. Mm. Yeah, well, insurance is ridiculous, anyways. For my truck and my wife's Jeep, we pay $235 a month for full coverage. Hey, internet veteran, how you doing? You having a good weekend? Did you enjoy Trapper Jay's live last night? Hmm. Last night killed you. Last night killed Jay. I can tell you that. Alright, Hunt Ready. I appreciate you hopping on here tonight. You have a good night, man. I'll catch you next time. Yeah, I talked to Jay earlier. I said, hey, everybody's wanting me to check up on you, see how you're doing. He's like, I'm dead. I'm dead. I don't know. I know if he did, he definitely didn't do it at 7 o'clock in the morning like he said he was going to. Hmm. Because, he didn't get up to, I think it was close to 9, I think. Well, at least the first time I heard from him, that's about what time it was. I don't know if you're Alright, Steve. You have a good night, man. Appreciate it. It was rough at the end. Yeah, it was rough, but we had fun. Talking about all the old TV shows and movies. That's everybody, they're like, how'd you get Trapper Jay to do that to one of your lures? I'm like, I didn't get him to do it. He just did it himself. He said he wanted to smell it, and he opened the lid, and he smelled it, and next thing I know, he's tongue punching it, and then I told him I was going to record it and post it, and he's like, oh, well, I can get you a better one than that, and then went on the video that I captured. Yeah, it was awesome. So I told him. He said that he's like, I'm going to delete this live. I said, no, you're not. I said, this thing's legendary. I said, you can't delete this. Sleep, man. I slept. Let's see. 1 hour. I think I slept an hour last night. From like about 6:30 to 7:30, and then took like a 20-minute nap on the way home from the hospital. Sucks that you missed it. Yeah, it was great. There's definitely a lot of things that went on in that live. Decisions were made. Woke up at 2:30, wife screaming, and then I realized internet fading. Yeah, and that's what I told him. He was like, I mean, he was really getting to where, I mean, he couldn't hardly talk. It was about 4:45, pushing 5 o'clock, and people were like starting to wake up for their day, and they were getting on. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I just woke up. You're still alive? You're still alive?" And he's like, "Yeah." And it's like, told him, I said, "You might as well keep going, man." I said, "Everybody's waking up." I said, second shift viewers are here. You watch them do it." Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Well, he'll always be like, "Internet veteran went to bed. That old man went to bed. He's gone." Next thing you know, here's $10. Take a shot. And he's like, "Oh man, not the cognac or whatever it was, cognac." Ugh. I think I'm gonna be heading to bed here pretty soon. Yeah, internet veteran. I can definitely tell you that he felt it this morning. And we gave away a couple of these. No, Mr. Somebody, you're good. We all have thick skin, I promise you. That's that right there. That's how thick the first layer of my skin is. Yeah. I'm saying, aren't you? You're like 45, aren't you, or something like that? I thought it was funny. He tasted this. He's like, "Oh, oh, that's spicy. That's hot. That's spicy." It's like, man, that ain't that spicy. 43. I was like, he always makes it off like you're pushing 70 years old. Yeah, he definitely thought it was spicy. He's like, that's spicy. It's like, it ain't that bad. Oh, oh, it wasn't the it wasn't the beaver caster. It was the sweet beaver. It's a poplar bud oil lure. He told me that I needed to do it to his uh, long call lure. I said, well, don't be surprised if you see it. Yeah, we'll see. Internet veteran. Our daughter woke up about 1:45, and she didn't go back to bed till after 4. Yeah, James, I'm the young person here. I'm the young one, and I won't ask who the oldest is. I appreciate it, Scab. So yeah, the old deadline is the 15th. It's hard for me to believe that they make imitation vanilla. Yeah, they also make strawberry flavoring with it, and a lot of perfumes are made with it. I always tell people, a lot of people say, "Oh, Beavercaster stinks." I'm like, to me, Beavercaster smells like a high-end tobacco. Yeah, James, didn't you know when you're making a cake, instead of throwing vanilla extract in there, you just throw a little bit of Beavercaster, and then you'll be good to go. Was it junior? No, it was a sophomore. Internet vet, what state are you in? Yeah. So it smells just like tobacco. It smells like a high-end tobacco. Mm. So, Internet Vet, is that your way of saying Scab's the oldest? So if Scab's the oldest, does that mean he's responsible for anything we all do? Awesome. What's it like up in New Jersey? I think that's what that means. That if any of us get in trouble, Scab. Yeah, hey, I always say the oldest is the one in charge. So anything we do, Scab is the one that is responsible. Remember that, guys. Remember that. Scab is responsible. And I'm the young one, so everybody knows the young one gets away with everything. James, yeah. Don't surprise me. Scab. Yeah. Say in the trapping world, like all the conventions I go to and stuff, most of the time I'm the youngest one there. Especially when it comes to people that have booths or bait makers and stuff. I'm definitely the youngest one there. Alright, Scab. Hey, at least we know who let the dogs out now. Ooh. The young one is always a troublemaker. Yeah. Well, see, in my family, I'm the young one, and uh, apparently in our family, the young one is the one that takes care of everybody. Because that's what I'm always doing. Sorry, I found this stupid bread tie, and I've been playing with it. I wonder if I get it tight enough with my finger, the little tip of my finger will just plop off. Be like one of those castration bands. Just. You're the oldest, and that's been your job for years, yeah. Yeah, I feel you. You're 29, be 30 this year. Scam. Hmm. Scab, you'll know soon enough. Yeah, Rob's, I just turned 28. I don't look like it. People always think I'm like 19, 20. Kenny, I'm confused. Are we talking about bread tie or are we talking about castration bands? Because I have some real questions. Jersey is crazy, it's amazing and terrible, it's great because They'll find you and break your I bet, yeah. I get it. Is there a lot of places to trap in New Jersey? 36, be 7 of December. Yeah. Yeah, Rob's sure does. That's for sure. Scab. People normally think you're 25, yeah. I have people all the time that think I'm still in high school. I mean, do I really look like I'm that young? Do I look like I should still be in high school? I remember when I had the outdoor store. People coming all the time. They'd be like, "Is this your mom and dad's place?" No. You're like, "Oh, your mom and dad don't own it, and you like run it for them?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Well, who owns it?" I do, and they're like, "You own it?" I'm like, "Yeah." Well, how'd you do that? I said, I worked pretty hard. I'm like, yeah. And then people always ask me, your parents have money? They help you out a lot? And I'm like, no, parents don't have money. I'm like, I did everything myself. It's just, uh, very, very, very hard. Do you have a baby face? Yeah. I get told that all the time. Brad type. You should see Connecticut drivers. Oh, yeah. Every state has crazy drivers. Around here, we call them, every time we see a crazy driver, we're like, $20 says they have an Arkansas license plate. So I always tell my wife, if somebody's driving stupid or something, I'm like, $20 says they have an Arkansas license plate. It's funny because 99% of the time they do have an Arkansas license plate. Yeah. So I'm at an hour and 53 minutes. I'm going to take this one just over 2 hours and then I'm going to get off and go to bed. I got about 7 minutes left. If you guys got any questions for me, feel free to ask. Don't mind answering any questions. Trapping related, business related, personal, I don't really care. They have every state played around me, but this is bases, trust me. It's good. Um, I'll see. I think what it is about where I live in Arkansas, that's by me, is we have uh, a bunch of the how do you politically say it right? People from India that work for Walmart that should have never been able to drive ever in their life. We have thousands of them that drive in Northwest Arkansas. And let me tell you what, uh, you're definitely taking your life into other people's hands every time you drive through Northwest Arkansas. Um, yeah. all you can do is pray that the person beside you doesn't cut you off and kill you. Like, I mean, that's pretty much all you got. How much longer do you have to raise prices? Um, I will not raise my prices until um, everywhere else does, pretty much. So when Minnesota raises the price, that's when I'll raise the price. When Duke raises the price, that's when I'll raise the price. There's been a few things here recently that I've seen have went up. So uh, it's not gonna be one of those things where all of a sudden every trap is gonna be more. It's gonna be a trap here, a trap there, kind of thing. This game sounds like Ohio. Too many kids. Yeah, it's got speed limits. When we went up doing conventions last year, went up north. There's a lot of speed limits up there that were like 80, 85, and it's like, okay, that's no problem, James. What I do when I do the deadline on the 15th, basically what that is, because I always have the deadline on the 15th and they ship out on the 20th, is basically because I want to be sure I have enough of everything for all of the boxes. Because, say, if I said I was shipping them out on the 20th and I had everything I needed for 20 boxes, well, and then somebody ordered one on the 19th. Well, now I don't have enough for that one box. So he might have to wait 3 or 4 days. So it's easier for me to say deadline's on the 15th, ship on the 20th. That way I have like a 5 day grace period. That makes sense. So if you order one between the 15th and 20th, there's a fairly good chance you'll still get it that month. But if I don't have the stuff, you'll probably be put into the next month. But yeah, if you're on the 16th, I'll get you in on this month for March. All right, James, I'll do that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm hoping that the mystery box becomes something that I would like. It'd be awesome if that became something that was like a really big thing. Um, I don't really make much money on them at all, and I didn't really do it to make money, but I know there's always there's things that no one would ever buy for themselves to try that they could get in that box and try and love it, or maybe a certain thing that they couldn't afford, like the Duke 850. A lot of people couldn't afford to go buy one of those, but to get one in the box, awesome. You know what I mean? So sometimes they'll be like in the boxes. Sometimes there'll be uh, cheaper traps, not like cheap traps, but traps that are 12, $13 each, and there might be three of them in the box. So I'd really like to be able to get them to be something big. But another thing is, I have a lot of people that are always asking, is there a way to get my box that's, you know, Wisconsin specific, where everything will be legal in Wisconsin, or is, whatever state? And it's like that's hard to do, if you know what I mean. because I don't want to sell 20 subscription boxes and 17 of them all be different things. If that makes sense. I was on 75 one time doing 82. Even old lady. Yeah. Like me, 50, but I haven't like that one thing as well. Yeah. I know I've heard a lot of people talk about the 850 that say they really like it. Just a lot of people say it's too hard to set. But you can always take the front two springs off. Scam. I think I'll definitely be sleeping in a little bit tomorrow. Yeah. Well, see, and that's like, there's a few things that I don't think I'll ever run in the boxes, and that's like snares. Because, like, half the states out there, you can't use snares in them. Or if you can use a snare, you have to have a certain lock or whatever. It's just, so I don't know if I'll ever have, like, snares in them, but. I get it. That's a lot of people I know that try to set the 850 with their by standing on it. And like when I stand on it, it just picks me up. James, yeah, I know. This guy. I have thought about uh, getting into the possibility in the future if this ever becomes something that is fairly successful. Because right now, I don't sell a whole lot of the subscription boxes to really be trying to make changes and stuff to it. But I've thought about having to where people can when they sign up for the subscription or order one, they can choose like what they normally target, like whether they normally target coyotes or bobcats or coyotes and bobcats, beaver, wolf, whatever. So if I get that package, I can be like, okay, so I'm gonna try to, for the most part, have the same stuff in the box as all the others, but kind of geared more towards that animal, whether it be the bobcat or the coyote or whatever. But I don't know. And I've thought about having different tiers, like having a $60 box, maybe like a $90 box, and like a $150 box. So, which like the $150 box would probably come with like half a dozen traps and stuff like that, and they'd probably all be different traps. But I don't know. There's a lot of things. It's one of those things I really want to see it be successful, I guess you could say, before I start trying to add to it. That makes sense. Uh, I've been doing these now for, I don't even know. I've been doing the subscription boxes now for close to a year. See, I think I started them probably around April or May of last year. I don't know. I can look and see real quick. It wouldn't be. I know exactly where to go to figure out when I first started doing them, but yeah, yeah, species specific. But then again, it's another one of those things that I don't know if I really could do that because then it would be a hard, uh, hard thing to do because then you're having different things in boxes. I don't know. It's all a thought process. No bunch of trap sites do starter kits with the whole shebang. Nobody does pure baiting kits. I do I still have them? I used to have I used to have three kits, four kits. One was all bait, where basically you got like uh, 6 or 7 pints of bait. They would be random ones. So like you could buy this kit for like $50, and you would get 5 or 6 different pints of bait, where you could try them out. Or I had one that was for lures, where I'd probably come with like 8 or 9 different lures, and then I had a bait and lure kit that was like $130. It came with all baits and lures, and they were all mixed and matched. So kind of use it all, but it wasn't something anybody was interested in, so I quit doing them. Yeah. So every box I do has at least. This last one was the only box I've had that's only had one trap, because it was the 850 and they're expensive. But every month usually has at least 2 traps, one bait, one lure, and something else. Whether it's a tool or some kind of attractive thing, I don't know. So it's like, on this last box I had the skinning knives in it. Had a skinning knife and then a the Weeby zipper knife or whatever. Yeah, zip knife. Green, yeah. So I'm one of those things, I want to do things and offer different things than most other companies, because if you look at any trap supply business, they're pretty much the same. They all carry the same baits and lures. They all carry the same brand traps, same brand tools. Blah 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 blah. And they're pretty much all the same price. There's not a whole lot of difference. But I want to be able to offer different things. That's why I have a lot of like baits and lures that you can't really find anywhere else, like Billingsley or Wolfen or Cash River, stuff like that. Isn't that better? It's awesome. Yeah. See, I used to have some, and I'd sold a couple, but I mean, it wasn't anything that was special. Like I had just like a coon kit, which came with coon bait, coon lure, pretty much just stuff for coons. And then uh, I had I don't even remember what all, but yeah, I don't know. I used to have like 3 or 4 different ones. Yeah, scab, yeah. Yeah, my whole thing with the subscription box was, there's so many different kinds of subscription boxes out there. I've never heard of a trapping subscription box, so I was like, I'm gonna start into that. Uh, and my thought process behind it when I first started doing it was so people could, try things that, you know, they usually might not have bought, just straight bought. that maybe they end up do liking or they don't like, or like I said, things that maybe they couldn't afford, or like some of those little tools are, there's $30 tools that you might get one of those in a box that nobody could have ever. Some people couldn't really afford to spend 30 bucks on that one little tool. So that's so crown to shoot you. It's being passionate about what you do. Oh yeah. So there's a few of my videos you can hear me being pretty pumped up, like the Bobcat video. I know the Bobcat video and the first Fox video I was pretty pumped about those. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's me. I try to do the best I can. That's all I do. Try to do the best I can. I'm not guaranteed like the subscription box. I'm not guaranteed that it's something that will, you know, be successful. But yeah. Oh yeah, Rob, definitely. And you never know what's going to get you like really excited. Like catching coyotes always excites me, but like when I come up to one that's just super big, that really excites me. Or like when I caught that three-legged one. I mean that was really cool to me because I'd never caught a three-legged coyote before, so that was pretty cool for me. So things like that really get me pumped up. Or like when I caught my first double, that really had me pumped up. Even though one of them got away, that really had me pumped up. Yeah. I'm done with the bread tie. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you hopping on here tonight. I need to head off to bed. I became a fan of Trap J due to his considered intro, and I bet some of you felt the same way. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's like a lot of the YouTube channels and stuff. You can watch them, and a lot of them start off really good, but then you can kind of tell when people start to get burnt out on doing it. Um, because it's almost like they're trying to force content and stuff like that. So I don't know. But there's been channels I've watched where, people will be having really good videos and then they'll just slowly start getting to where they're just not as entertaining because it's like they don't really, I don't know. It sounds like they're losing interest. Does that make sense? I don't know. Yeah, it's signing three-legged at that. It's amazing. I shot two boats. Well, that's awesome, Robs. That would be cool. Alright, Robs. Good night, man. You have a good night. Appreciate it in event. Well, yeah, and say Trapper J is definitely one of the better, cooler people that I've talked to because there's been a lot of people that have um, YouTube channels and stuff that are not laid back people, kind of like Trapper J is. If that makes sense. There's a lot of them that are just like, I don't know, when you really get into like the hunting industry, There's a lot more of them, of people that are just like, I'm better than you type people. So, and that's kind of what I was, I was talking to, I mean, not to, talk bad about anything, but I was kind of talking to Trapper Jay about Uncut. And there's a guy, I don't know if any of you guys on here were on Uncut. Alright, James, I appreciate it. You have a good night. Yeah, I'm about to head off here too, but there was a guy on Uncut that he was, I guess he's a big hunter. I don't know, I've never seen his YouTube or anything like that, but his videos that he came out with, his attitude and the way he came across in his videos was just like, uh, I'm better than you, kind of like, I don't need you guys, I don't really care type of thing. And on Cat, he did a live one day, and I was on his live, and that's just, I mean, that's how it was. It was like, he couldn't quit patting himself on the shoulder kind of thing. Like, in his mind, he was the greatest. And I don't know, I don't like people that are that way. Which guy? His name is Rob. I think Rob is his name on Uncut. But that's why I told Trapper Jay, there's a lot of people that say that, but that say he was the reason for um, Trapper Jay was the reason why a lot of people were really starting to like Uncut, and it's true. I mean, uh, Trapper Jay's videos and Flair's videos were the only ones I really uh, like actually enjoyed watching on there. I watched quite a few of the other ones, and a lot of them were just, I mean, not good videos at all. Uh, you know, uh, Trapper Jay told me that he wasn't gonna be on there anymore. Um, I unsubscribed to Uncut. I mean, like he told me, I asked him about it, and he's like, no. I said, okay. And I went straight to my Uncut app and unsubscribed. Ever watched Trapping? Yes, I do. And I bet I've watched a few of his videos. Not in a while, but I know I'm old, but what the hell does this? But you see. Yeah, I do too. So I haven't watched one of his videos in a little bit. It's probably been a month or so, but yeah, I've watched quite a few of his videos. And I'm not 100% sure where he's at, but he's not too far from me, because I live in the Ozarks. I'm kind of waiting for Rob's, because I don't really know what that means either. That SC. So, are any of you guys, were you or are you on Uncut? Say, besides Flair and Trap J, I didn't know any of those people at all. I never seen any of them. Roms. No YouTube, bro. Tried to find it and couldn't find it now. Well, I got on there because of Trapper J to watch him and support him, but then he told me he wasn't going to be on there anymore, so I unsubscribed. Yeah, and I bet. Well, he's not on there no more. That's why I went unsubscribed. I don't know. Well, it's like Jay said. I don't think they will use Jay. Well, and um, I don't, I don't think Jay. I don't think it was quite what he thought it was going to be. If that makes sense. That's awesome, Ron. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm on a few different things. I started TikTok. I do quite a bit of the TikTok, and TikTok's helped me out quite a bit. And Facebook, one of my main things for my business is Facebook. So, and of course Instagram, but I don't hardly do anything on Instagram. It's kind of just a joke app, really. Here are my favorite accounts to follow on TikTok. My favorite account is Blakely's Trapping. I'm just kidding. uh, Chris Markham, 82. Song Dog Harris. Trapper Billy. William Durrett. Outdoors and More 4. Camo Papa. Um, let's see here. Trying to think of a few more good ones. Ozark. Jadal. I don't know, Ozark something. Ozark Cabal. So it's Ozark Kubal. Ozark Cabal. I think that's it. Pretty much. But see, what's crazy about TikTok is like when you're doing lives, like I'm doing right here, you can do a live with like two other people. So like here on the right side of the screen, there'll be little blocks where the people will be live with me there, and we can all just kind of talk. So it's kind of like a podcast where we can all talk about something, and we can interact with people commenting and stuff like that. Different people can come in and out of the live. Um, but what's cool is when I first started, basically I call them like the 330 maniacs and Trapper Jays of TikTok, like the big accounts of TikTok. They were all live one day, and I was watching the live, and I was commenting. They were saying stuff, and I was commenting, and they're like, "Do you want to get on? Do you want to come on live with us?" And I was like, Sure, okay. So I went live with him, and then ever since that night, like 3 or 4 times a week, I'm doing live videos with him. Well, not now because my account's been banned for a week, but like I talk to most of those guys daily now. Have you guys watched Jeff Soda's? Uh, I never have, Robs. Oh, a video that I posted like 3 weeks ago. You can't really post a video of an animal, like an animal in a trap, because they'll take it down. And I had one posted February 20th, I think was when I posted it, and they hit me yesterday with it and banned me for 7 days. And basically, my next violation, my account will be permanently banned. Basically, if I get hit with the next one, they're gonna delete my account. But I started a backup account, so. That's awesome, Rob. Robs, if you like watching some hunting videos and stuff like that, look up the hunting grounds. Their stuff is not so much like uh, going out and shooting trophies like monster bucks and all that, and it's not like super informative videos like you get with some of the other people, but it's a lot more like real hunting, if that makes sense. Uh, it's more like, real down home hunting. Like the bucks that they shoot are, your good 130-inch deer. Like they're not out there shooting 180, 190-inch deer every other weekend like a lot of these other shows. Where they just go to these ranch, shoot a deer, go to the next ranch, shoot a deer, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, those shows to me are useless as tits on a boar hog. But um, they're I'm good friends with them. They're local. Stephen Fuller on there. He's actually one of my really good friends. And then um, Scotty Flippo. I don't know why he keeps saying that. Stephen Fuller is like the main guy, and he's a like a ambassador type person for Spy Point trail cameras and dry shod boots. He actually films a lot of the dry shod boot commercials. But they're local people, and I know all them. And Scotty Flippo is one of my really good friends. Yeah. My big thing on TikTok is like TikTok is really, really, really bad, but it's also really, really, really good. It just depends on what you're on there for. I mean, like, if you get on there to see half naked girls dancing around, you're gonna see lots of it. I promise you, lots of it. But if you're on there to see hunting and trapping, you'll see lots of that. They honestly, one thing about TikTok, they honestly show you what you interact with. Like if you're looking at hunting videos a lot, then they're gonna show you a lot of hunting videos. If you're looking at a lot of like comedy type videos, they'll show you a lot of comedy type videos. But now if you start clicking on all these girls' profiles, then it's gonna start showing you a lot of those girls' videos. Awesome, Robs. Yeah, say they're not like a huge channel or anything. They got a fairly good following, but yeah, they're pretty cool people. And he's been doing it for a while. TikTok been acting dumb lately, yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. It's probably going to be a while before I can do another live on TikTok. Yeah, I've watched a lot of Tim Wells. I've been watching Tim Wells for years. Even back when he uh got the spear in his leg. I remember when that happened. About bled to death in Africa. Yeah, I'm the one that does all the live videos on there. On TikTok, I do all the live videos and everybody gets on my live videos, which is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, Tim Wells is pretty cool. There's a lot of good hunters out there. Like when it comes to deer hunting, I think some of the best people to watch to learn a lot is the Drury brothers and Lee and Tiffany Lukoski. Lee Lukoski is super smart, super informative, and he can teach you a lot. And the same thing with the Druries. Um, yeah. No, I haven't caught anything. There was a cat mess with one of the sets today because there was tracks by my trap, but and now we're getting a whole bunch of rain, so that ain't gonna help at all. That's awesome, Internet Vet. Yeah, I've probably been watching. I mean, I wouldn't say I watch his stuff constantly, like all the time, but I mean, I've watched a lot of his stuff, and I've been watching it for, I'd say, at least 10 years. Yeah, we got a lot of rain today. It's supposed to rain and snow all week. Oh, my first meeting to actually volunteer at the fire department is tomorrow. Tomorrow at 6. Yeah, Rob's, Rob's Bills. So, I'm pretty excited. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, but never really had the, really, I don't, it never really was the right time, I guess you could say. But one of the main guys at the fire station goes to our church, and I talked to him about it a couple weeks ago. And I told him I really wanted to volunteer, so I'm going to the meeting tomorrow to do that. They're supposed to be here to get it, so that one. It's crazy in that vet. Yeah, I've thought about getting me one of those. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I told him. I won't have a ton of time. Like, I'm not gonna be the guy that's gonna be able to show up at every single call that there is, but I'll try to come and help out at as many as I can because I am busy all the time, busy. But Tim Wells and Bucky, yeah, yeah, kind of. I've been saying I'm gonna get off here for half an hour now. I need to. Yeah, I've been wanting to go to the fire department for a while. My dad was the fire chief for like 15 years. volunteer fire chief for a long time. And I'd always wanted to, but it just never was really the right time. It never felt right. And then and the one that I'm volunteering at, it's a different one. It's in a bigger town, but it's still not too far from me. Oh, it was about 5:30. Somewhere around 5:30 is when the live ended. There were still like 60 people on there when he ended it. Yeah, Spear from Doom Wells, that's awesome. Did you get the one that was stuck in his leg? 6:30 your time, yeah. Say I ended up falling asleep at 6:30 and I woke up at 7:30. Hmm. But yeah, if any of you guys have TikTok, I would definitely get on there and follow some of those channels that I mentioned earlier. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and head off here, guys. I gotta go to bed. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock, so I appreciate you guys hopping on here tonight. Hope you all have a great week coming up and a great night. What's that? But, all right, hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for coming in and chatting with me for a while. I'll see you guys in the next one. I probably won't be doing a live tomorrow because of the meeting at the fire station. Possibly Tuesday. So we'll see. But anyway, again, thank you guys. Hope you guys have a great week. See you next time.